Mag or walleye colors work best down here. That and the natural golden perch that are on, wilies that are on those. Yeah, we're doing fine. It's a little bit of a hard day with the cold front rolled in on us here that shut everything down pretty much. But we're still trying. Lines are in the water. We're going. We'll see where we go from there. I'm Larry Jones, and I live in Tonawanda, New York, the outskirts north side of Buffalo, New York. I'm the president of Eastern Lake Erie Charter Boat Association. We're actually involved in the conservation and ethics end of all the fishing and hunting things as well.
So you're saying as the president you do more than just get to be in charge at meetings?
Oh, correct. We go to all kinds of New York State, DEC, federal meetings, meetings with the Coast Guard, meetings with the Army Corps of Engineers on dredging, meetings that have to do with the size limit and quantities of fish and everything on the Great Lakes and inland lakes. We have things to do with like the chemical treatment on Chautauqua Lake, various things, the stocking of the hatcheries, the raising of bait fish for the hatchery, multiple things that we do that are related to conservation and fisheries.
And I'm told that you've been to Washington, D.C. on several occasions on behalf of Lake Erie.
Yeah, that was had to do with the dredging issues. They weren't dredging any of the harbors because they say that only an occasional ship goes into those harbors. But there's my understanding that the money they get from the ships that carry ballast water into the Great Lakes have to pay money into a fund. And there's like $250 million in this fund that's supposed to be used for upkeeping harbors and breakwalls and everything on the Great Lakes. And they've just, the eastern end of Lake Erie, they just haven't done any. There's trees growing out of walls falling apart. One wall at Barcelona completely broke through and washed in and filled the channel in. Over at the other end of the lake going closer to Buffalo at Sturgeon Point, the sand completely filled in the whole front of that, and it took all kinds of legislation and everything before we ever got funds. But so we've been working on all those issues for a long time. We finally got all the dredging done throughout all the area, and they're working on some of the walls and that.
So even though your main business is taking folks out on the water and catching fish, yourself and others in the association are involved in far wider ranging activities?
Yeah, we also understand that, you know, this is our livelihood, and that if we don't do something to protect it, it won't be here for us or our kids or anybody else to do in a later time. So it's not all about just how many fish you can take out of the water. It's how you can keep the fishery as good as it is or make it better, and to make it good for everybody and all at the same time.
And what's the number one issue in Eastern Lake Erie that you guys are working on now?
Right now, the main issue is the number of fish that you can keep and the size of fish that you can keep. Now, the fishery right now is probably one of the best walleye fisheries there ever is, or has been, even better than the early 80s, which was really good. But the trouble is that there's only like 2-year classes of fish. They're fish from 14 to 17 inches and 18 to 22, nothing below and nothing above. So there's no new year classes coming up behind, and there's no old year classes left. They've all died off from older age. So if we don't do something now to save those fish by having a slot limit in the middle, so your good spawners are able to spawn and not be all caught out, we're going to go into a down period in 3 or 4 years. The fish will all be big, and then there'll be none. That's what'll happen.
And do you guys ever, and gals, ever interact with other charter boat associations or other groups on Lake Erie?
Yeah, we're working with other organizations right now on the issue of non-resident charter vessels coming to New York State, because other states have, you pay a fee in order to fish in their states and operate in Great Lakes waters. So we're in the process of making that change for New York as well. Is what's happened with Lake Erie with the algae bloom situation on the western end with the blue-green algae is those boats that are down there are only be able to work during the first part of the year. Once the algae sets in, they're out of work, so all those boats are starting to slide to our end of the lake, and they're all working out of Dunkirk and Buffalo and everything to bring in clients from Ohio, but they aren't licensed to fish here. They're paying no taxes here, and they're taking all the money back home to their states. They're not leaving, they're not spending any money here.